little bit slower.
Call the May 21st, 2024 board meeting to order. Start with pledge allegiance. Mr. McMahon, lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start the meeting with a hearing on the proposed superintendent contract. Is there any public comment on the proposed superintendent contract? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the regular meeting. Boards received the minutes from the April 12th and 22nd meetings.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 3 is the claims docket.
I'll make a motion to approve the claim docket.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4 is balance sheet.
Okay, as you can see by the cash balance totals there, the educational fund snapped back a little bit from last month, so you're, it went up this last month. Previous month, there's several one-time expenditures that caused it to go down some. And operating balance is naturally going to go down some until the tax draw. And rainy day went down some. We're paying some of this building out of rainy day because the construction fund is invested in CDs, but then once they come over, we'll reimburse rainy day.
Are there any other questions or comments on the balance sheet? Okay, moving on to number 5, public comment on agenda items. Is there any public comment tonight?
Yeah, there's one, but this night has to do with your baseball coach. Didn't know you had such a good ball team. I was on KDI Saturday. I don't know who the kid is pitching, but he's the coach. So he put him in, he won the game. So how they do Saturday against South Central?
Lost 6-1, but it's a pretty good game. A lot better game the first time they played them.
Oh, they broke some records of the school.
I think it's the first
He
time.
does, I'll tell you that, you tell there too. He done a good job. He's in.
Well, I listened to it.
Who's the kid that's the pitcher? He must be pretty good. He says he's over 90 up, 95, 90.
Dylan Stewart, who's the transfer from the Jets last year.
Okay, that's what he was talking about. He said he's ready to be approved in the last 3 months. That's all I know.
Oh, the Boot Row game, it was Kate Zelke as pitch. That's the first time we beat Boot Row, I think, since 2002, 2001.
He was there too. Yeah, that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Hearing none, public comments closed. We'll move on to number 6, school promotion and marketing team report.
All right, so over the past month since our last board meeting, we sent those mailers out. We had our radio ad going, a lot of social media posts daily, and we boosted some. So we had our Experience TTS night, and I appreciate board members for being there. I really appreciate our staff for showing up. I think we had over 90% of our staff here that day. The other ones that weren't here had prior commitments that they couldn't get out of, family commitments, but everybody else was here. And we had over 20 families here on Sunday. So really good turnout. We're going to continue to use social media and other ways to market. We already have a plan for those 20 families to make sure they stay involved in what's going on here, making sure they get our newsletter weekly, We had one come in today and enroll already for next year, so that was a huge positive. And there's different reasons why they're coming here: robotics, the drama, music program, small class sizes, just a lot of different reasons why we heard that they heard of us and they wanted to come here. So try to ask the people too when they were here, what got them here? Was it the radio ad? Was it the mailer? Was it word of mouth? There's a little bit of everything. So I think everyone that put stuff into those things, we had a lot of staff that was a part of all of that and making Sunday happen. That was an all-staff thing, but the mailer, the radio ads, that stuff that we worked on from February all the way up till going out in April. So just things that we'll continue to do, but very happy with where we're at right now. So we're gonna get some thank you notes out this week to the people that showed up and just continue. One thing that Mrs. Clemens and I have talked about now is some of those kids that we've lost to other schools that live in our district. We want to start going door to door in June and start to hit some of those families and just have some conversations with them and see.
I'd like to see that happen yearly.
Yeah.
The open house we did.
Yeah, I thought it went, I thought it went really well, and I think for some of our families too, they can come to it and see it.
Yeah.
That are already here and see some of the things that we offer.
And I'm very thankful to everyone that showed up as well. Did a great job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's great that the teachers, the staff members showed up, it's outside of their, normal paid day.
Yeah.
So it shows that, they believe in what's going on here, and it's nice.
Yeah.
So, as a board member, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I did too.
Well, thank you.
Okay, number 7 is across the school building. So the board has kind of reviewed the proposal, Community Schoolhouse Incorporated. So to summarize it, Community Schoolhouse Incorporated proposes to acquire the former La Crosse High School building. The school would be responsible for all environmental claims. Schools provide the following minimum improvements: environmental report regarding asbestos, lead paint, and any other environmental hazards with mitigation if applicable. Split the water line on the property. The school will remove all debris and trash from the interior and exterior of the property. The school will remove all items and equipment stored on the property. The school will clean the interior of the building and perform repair and maintenance to walls, floors, and ceiling tile. The school will provide roof inspection with replacement if necessary. The school will give $100,000 to Community Schoolhouse Incorporated for construction improvements, maintenance, and operations. The school will pay for 5 years of insurance premiums. The school will pay for 5 years of landscaping, mowing, and playground maintenance. The school will pay for 5 years utilities on the property. The school will provide 5 years of HVAC maintenance on the property. Community Schoolhouse Incorporated proposes to lease the entire property for $1 a year. The school will maintain priority use of the gym and kitchen, with the Community Schoolhouse Incorporated having use of the area when the school is not using it. CSI will have the option to purchase the gym and kitchen after 5 years for $1. So while we're considering this proposal, the school corporation has to consider what's best for the school corporation, students, taxpayers, and the community. The decision to close this building 2 years ago was based upon academic, financial, and safety reasons. So at this time, we're still in the process of determining what is the best course of action when it comes to the lacrosse building. Keep it. I don't know what the breakdown on utilities
Was
are.
that summary about what you thought?
Yes,
The
yes.
proposal, they were wanting to, before they
To clarify.
make a decision, they want to clarify that they're reading what they think they're reading.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way I read it, that's the way the lawyer explained it to me too. That's what we were.
Because there's a large dollar cost on those items.
We figure we're saving the school board large dollars by not having to demolish that building.
They wanted to clarify that that's really what the
Yes,
proposal was.
yes. Was there more discussion on that then, or just want to know clarification?
That's just where we're at with it right
Okay.
now. We wanted to take the time to read through it, to understand it, to to summarize it, be able to make sure we're reading it correctly, and then try to figure out
Okay.
best course of action.
Okay, well, great. I'm glad you put that much time into it, so you understand what we're asking.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where we're at, just wanted to summarize it to, clarify, like I said, clarify, make sure we know what we're looking at and understanding, and then actually sit down and figure out our best course of action, or the best course of action moving forward with the building, schoolhouse, incorporated,
Yeah.
so.
And when you're ready to sit down and negotiate with us too, we're ready to do that too, so we know there'll be some things that want to be changed or that you want to
Right.
be clarified. So,
Okay.
work with you on that. But one other thing I wanted to let you know, I guess we're anticipating this we're going to be able to work this out eventually. And so June 25th, we reserved the center in La Crosse to have a community-wide school meeting on the schoolhouse and what the needs and wants, to identify the needs and wants of the community for this nonprofit organization that we're trying to put together. So I just make sure to let the school board know they're invited to this. This is open to the public. The school board and the staff and teachers, we'd like them to come to this public meeting and, so we can find out what's the next step in this, or not for this agreement, but
Right.
for what direction the schoolhouse needs to go.
Okay.
And that's June 25th at 6:30 p.m.
And just so there's understanding, they're making no commitment at all, they just want to clarify.
Yeah, no, I understand. When you read it, I thought, oh my gosh, you guys are agreeing to everything, but no, you were just clarifying. Okay. You had me excited there for a minute.
Sorry, Jim. Anything else on that, number 7? Before we move on. Okay, number 8 is the health insurance memorandum of understanding.
Okay, as we've been talking, we met with the negotiations team about making an adjustment in the contract, and they agreed to this adjustment where the insurance language beginning July 1st, Tri-County School Corporation will contribute.
Tri-Township.
Yeah.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 9, personnel.
Okay, I would like to recommend the approval of Chris McGowan's resignation as varsity girls basketball coach and thank him for his work.
I'll make a motion to approve his resignation for basketball coach.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next one.
Okay, I'd like to recommend the approval of Christian Porter as the varsity girls basketball coach.
I'll make a motion to approve Christian Porter for the girls varsity basketball coach.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 10 is computer purchase.
All right, so, been working with Bruker Tech all year. We have our elementary and middle school and high school teachers all have different computers right now. Some of them have Chromebooks. Some of them still have old Windows laptops that are about 7 years old, 8 years old. And so they get to the point now where when something happens to them, we're switching them out for a Chromebook. But one thing that we've noticed with the Chromebooks is you can't save anything on there, so a lot of the files have to be, on a cloud or in their Google Drive. So it makes it difficult. There's some programs that they can't run on those that they'd like to on their Windows computers. I talked to Bruker, and we are looking at making a purchase of 27 computers. This would be all Windows laptops for our teachers. And that would cover everybody pre-K through 12, all teachers. So we went kind of back and forth on some things. There's some extra options that we could get, but I don't think all the teachers would use them. So if we need to purchase those later, we can. But we've done a lot of updates in classrooms as far as TVs, smart boards, Google Chromecast. So now this is probably the next thing is getting new computers for the teachers.
I recommend approval of this purchase. Been working with Guy, he's looking for the money. It may have to come out of rainy day money, but it's something that needs to be done.
I'll make a motion for the computer purchase.
We have a motion for the computer purchase. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 11 is vocational agreement.
Okay, annually, you're required to approve the operation participant agreement for the LaPorte County Career Technical Ed Area Vocational District. I recommend approval of that. With that, ask you to sign the paper. So
I'll make a motion to approve the operation or technical education,
I'll second it.
vocational.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 12, design build step 1 report, the restrooms and the locker rooms.
Okay, this step 1 report needs board approval so the project can proceed involving the middle school restrooms, lacrosse locker room renovations. The Rawlings Group has reviewed this information, recommends approval. This approval involves the approval of the master design build agreement and first of contract price amendments that authorizes commitment of $1,004,544 for the restroom renovations at Tri-County School and changing room repurposing across gymnasium. And I think you've done a similar process when you did design build before.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the design build report.
I'll second that motion.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carries. 13, policy considerations.
Okay, after the 2024 legislative session got done, there were some required policy changes, and I'm recommending that, I think we may have had a first reading and second reading in the past, and maybe haven't done many policy changes, but I recommend that you waive that so these changes can be done immediately so they can get them put in the student handbook. It involves wireless device prohibition, and these policies came directly from the School Board Association. Student discipline rules, suspension and expulsion procedures, habitual truant, and student attendance. They're very similar to some of the policies you already had, but to cover the legislative changes, they recommend new approval of these.
I have a question on the wireless device. Are we saying that they're not allowed in the classroom, like cell phones, et cetera, or?
Brian, it's really not.
With this one or with what we have now? So our rule now is actually more stringent than this one. We allow them at lunchtime, that's about the only difference. We don't, right now, we really don't get permission from teachers like this one says. We try to go just no devices whatsoever.
So are we then making the rule not, they can't have their phones in the classroom at all? They have to leave them in a locker until lunch?
Leave them in a locker or leave them, they need to leave them put away. Because some kids won't, there's some that will kind of fight with you on the locker part. If other people get in their lockers and things like that, they don't want to leave them in there. But if
How
they're
many
out,
disruptions does the school generally have during the school year with students with cell phones in the classroom?
less this year than last year.
I would say there are some issues.
There are some issues. I will say we've handled less social media issues between kids saying things to one another this year than in past years. And this is our first year of having our newer rule. So, but yeah, and it's just being, I mean, we gotta be accountable. I mean, all of us, the teachers and the administration of whatever rule we set and whatever's in our handbook, we gotta make sure we follow.
Brian?
I'm gonna go on record that I'm a firm believer that cell phones should not be allowed in the classroom. If they want to have them in their locker or have them in lunch period, that's one thing, but it's too much of a disruption. So, I mean, that's my personal opinion.
That is mine as well.
And I thought we discussed this a couple years back, that was going to be the rule, that there would be no cell phones in the classroom.
I thought we actually got things to hang on the doors to put their cell phones
We did
in.
those for a while, and we've tried a lot of things, and that was prior to this year. I think a lot of classrooms, it's been a lot better this year, as far as having issues from past years. And I think too, it's just, I don't, you know, if they have it in their if they have it in their pocket and it's not seen and they're not messing with it, I don't want teachers though looking for it either and then causing an issue of go put that in your locker, because now it's gonna cause an issue and they're not taking 2 or 3 minutes out of class
That's why I think it's good to have those pockets.
Yeah, so, and that's why some kids,
And be done.
yeah, and some kids do have to have them because of their
That's not
504,
for diabetes. I
IEP,
get
or medical issues.
Yes, I get
So,
that.
but even those kids, we continue to watch and have conversations with, and I think Mrs. Lance will agree with you. We got a couple kids that have it because of medical, and we still have to talk to them about it because they then try to use it instead of it being for a medical reason. So we have to have those conversations.
Because for medical, I do know it only has to be next to you. You don't have to be on it. It's logged into your
But I would honestly say, I bet Alyssa and I handled over 15 cell phone issues last year, as far as like, this person posted this about me during class or took this picture of me, and this year it's been below 5 that we've dealt with.
And I personally do think, I've talked to schools that take a hard line on it on day one, and after a couple weeks, it's a non-issue.
And I think Mrs. Lance will agree, there are classrooms that have done that and they've done well.
I think the problem is when you have one classroom that semi-allows it and then another classroom that doesn't, it needs to be uniform
It does.
across
Consistent.
the entire corporation.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Everything needs to be consistent across.
yes, consistency is key.
And that's something kids always, you always hear the kids say, well, it's not fair. That's what
Sorry, life's not fair.
Yeah, but they want, and that's what they want is fairness and consistency and fairness and,
I would strongly encourage you to consider starting the year with, they're in the locker, period.
Yeah.
And it's staff's responsibility to enforce the policy. If they don't, write them up for not doing their job. And I think it would make your life a lot easier.
I agree, and I think that's what Chad and I are
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
consistency.
Yeah.
It's gotta be consistent, or it's not.
Yep.
All right, so for this one, we're gonna need 2 motions. First one would need to be the waiving of the first and second reading requirements for these policies.
I'll make a motion to waive the first and second reading for these policy considerations.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And second motion would need to be approval of these new policies.
I'll make a motion to approve the new policies.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 14 is the principal's report.
And I'll add all those into our student handbook. So when I
Thank
come in June with the student handbook for next year,
Thank you.
all those will be in there. All right, so principal report. We completed iLearn testing about a week and a half ago. Started getting results back. So starting to look at those right now. Our iRead 3 retesters tested today, and I will tell you, they did quite well. As of right now, I think all of them that retested as of today passed. So that was really good. May 10th, we had Enrichment Day here. I think that's something that a lot of schools don't have, and we have, and it's something really unique to Tri-Township. And Mrs. Clement, Mrs. Augsburger, and Mrs. Lance put that together the last few years. And it's just a great day with all of our kids, pre-K through 12, going out, and the kids get to be part of different activities and learn new things, and it's just always been a success. So we had a great day of weather for that too, to make sure we could do everything outside.
I'm going to say that I heard a lot of positive in the community from the adults that took part in that. So, yeah, good job.
And I think one of the requirements for this year was the teachers had to be involved too somehow. If they were supervising or they actually ran one, and so that, I know a lot of the teachers, they enjoy that too. And I know people in the office that help too, they enjoy that they can be with the kids for a day.
I heard a lot of great things as well.
Yeah. So we take a lot of field trips too. I mean, that's one of the things that I feel like we do a really good job here too, is letting the kids go on the field trips. 4th grade went to the Indy Motor Speedway in early May. We've had a couple classes go to the zoo. 4th and 5th grade, I think, are going somewhere together. And so And then we have our end of year 6 through 12 Indiana Beach trip, and that's this Friday. So we start finals on Thursday, so we'll have finals Thursday, Monday, Tuesday, and they'll have that trip on Friday. We got awards nights these next couple weeks. Athletic awards, middle schools tomorrow. That one can't be a full athletic awards because baseball can do something for the sectional or softball. So, no, okay, so not softball. We got a couple kids at track that made the regionals that will compete on Thursday. So we got them too as well. That can be competing. And then we also have boys golf, and then the year sectional is on graduation day. So graduation is next Friday, May 31st. We had that there this year. Next year, I will tell you, we moved it back into June, so we have a little more time in between the last day of school and graduation. Because we're pretty tight on the schedule this year. We get out Thursday, graduation Friday. And then we also start summer school June 3rd. So that week after, we'll have 2 weeks of summer school for elementary students, Monday through Thursday for 3 hours each day. Then we have Mrs. Davis and Ms. Smith that will be teaching that.
Great.
So that's all I have.
Thank you, Brian.
15, superintendent report.
Okay, they should do the conduit, they're starting on the wiring in the whole building this week. They've worked with NIPSCO to locate exactly where the final power is going to come. It's going to not be inside the track, it's going to be buried, but we have to work with the construction to make sure that they're going to get the wiring all done, at least temporarily hook it up so there's light and so forth. The restroom, locker room, work should begin June 3rd. That is the plan. The track discussion, they're in the process of taking bids and so forth. I sent you that information today. In order for it to possibly happen, we need to try to have a special meeting the first week of June because, you know, things have to be approved and then there's some lag time before they can actually make it start. I sent you them dates. It's really up to you guys. June 3rd or 4th, I could be there. June 6th, I don't think I can, but if you guys can, it's your project.
I'm free June 3rd.
I can't, I'll be in Baltimore.
Oh, that's right.
And I don't know if you're ever gonna find time where everyone's available. If you wanna make it June 6th, you know, I might be back from Fort Wayne. I got a meeting up there, but I might not. But if you want, they're gonna be here. If you want to hammer it out with them. June 6th works for the board, that's more important. You know, I'm a temp, I realize that.
Whatever's good, as long as it's not June 8th, that's Ben's graduation party.
So you want it June 6th?
If you're,
Well, I don't, it's iffy, brother, I'll be back.
It's June 5th.
Wednesday.
I'm not available June 5th, but if you guys are.
I'll make whatever work, but I can't be there on Monday the 3rd. I'll be in Baltimore.
Like FaceTime.
That's fine, whichever works.
June 3rd, we can FaceTime or something. So you can be involved with it.
I trust you guys to,
You want to make it June 3rd?
That's fine with me. If Mel's good with it, and if there's something she wants to
about
be,
10.
if you want to be in on it, just FaceTime or something
I mean,
like
what
that.
about Tim? You check with Tim.
No.
He was in that email today too.
I thought he said he was good.
I can't look at my phone, so. You guys do what?
Well, why don't we shoot for June 3rd? If we find out that 2 out of 5 of you can't be there, we'll figure plan B.
June 3rd.
June 3rd at 6 p.m. That's what we will shoot for. Okay, just a reminder, there's a special meeting May 28th at 5:30 here to consider approving the superintendent contract. I think there's academic awards at 6, so I know the new superintendent plans to be here, and there'll be some punch and cookies or something. We're encourage people to come and meet this new individual. They're raring to go. The next regular meeting is June 24th.
With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting adjourned.
Mr. McMahon, how'd it go Sunday up there?